Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. For the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan on second down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. That one goes for 24 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Freeman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now Ryan on first down. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Ryan to throw. Here's Sanu on the catch. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson, flush to his right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. From the gun, here's Watson. The catch made by Miller. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
39. Shotgun.
And that'll set them back 5. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. To throw is Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now the pitch to Freeman. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here. So for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This will be taken at the 10. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout.
Two jet! Down! Black 22! Black 22!
And the pitch goes to Miller. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw on second is Watson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson looking deep downfield. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. On second down, here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this one is incomplete. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Second half begins with a run from middle. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Robert Alford. They're losing here in the third quarter, maybe trying to get the ball outside, bust a big play. Obviously didn't work there.
Yeah, and while it didn't work, I really can't fault them for trying it. You and I have talked to the offensive coordinator, and we knew that was a place they wanted to try and go. And sometimes you just have to stick with it because 2-yard gains turn into 20-yard gains as the game goes along.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Down. Green, down.
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They toss to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. There he goes inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
This is Coleman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep for, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A little 360. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Gun! 21! Hey, gun!
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll toss it to Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. On 1st down, Ryan. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. A 20th carry now for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
21.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got Sanu. 4th down conversion plays. You usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
21. Wait. Ready to go.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. Taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now a toss right to Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson, flushed out right. Complete to the tight end, Jason Morrow. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. On 2nd down, here's Miller. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Set, back 22.
Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Two jet, set, blue 80, blue 80.
Now a toss running left. This is Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Hey, blue 80, blue 80.
They'll run it again with Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Two jet, red, blue 80, blue 80.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 3 there, and that should be just about all she wrote.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Down, blue 80, blue 80.
Now a handoff to Miller. Bust through the tackle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Texans, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.